we're gonna go. We've got Machu. Whoop. Machu versus a magical cow. Oh, usernames. Looks like we've got vampires versus mono white.
Yep. Yeah. Yes, mono white deck actually. It's kind of funny. So like, the historic version is pretty powerful, and like that deck that was in it's the modern version now too. It's like people are like just like sticking this mono white deck, and people like laugh at it. And it's like, okay, well, it's actually gonna kill you. And Daxos was a big pickup for these decks as well. Like the 2 white pips, and you know, having a 2/3 body that gains you a bunch of life is pretty important for this style of deck.
Yep, for sure.
I mean, it's just a brick wall here. How do you even beat this at this point?
Small technical difficulty here. Trying to get the second matchup.
You're doing a great job.
We're doing our best. I'm F5ing as much as it'll let me F5. Nope.
The director
does not seem to be happy.
Director. Yeah, I mean, just, you know, Machu's just sticking the board full of creatures too, and gaining a bunch of life incidentally in the background. It's pretty nice. Free attack too.
Oh, hold on one second, Matthew. I gotta mute you for a second. All right, you're back, Matthew. Sorry, I wanted to disable my Discord notifications so people weren't hearing a bunch of them back and forth here. I thought I had them off, but they should be now.
No worries.
So for those of you just joining us, we are currently in the second feature match for round 1. It looks like we might not, unfortunately, have both players' cameras up due to a Discord technical difficulty. Hopefully, at some point, Arena team decides to prioritize making coverage a possibility with a real spectator client. For now, it is what it is.
Man. Leonin Vanguard too. And Castle Ardenvale also. I mean, they just have like everything. It's gonna be a slow beat down, but
yeah, it was good. It was a good match, Marty, for sure.
Just, you know, casually up to 30. No big deal.
So for this round, we are not going to get the Stream Decker updated with these new lists. In future rounds, we're going to make sure that we can get that done, though.
Gosh. Utility on Giant Killer is just really stupid too. It's like so annoying. So real annoying. Not only does it have like a murder attached to it, it's also just tap something down even if it stinks. It's still just fine.
Yep.
Yeah, Devout Decree is a good rip too. I was gonna say I'd be surprised if they didn't Devout Decree the 4/5 here, but
Try one more time here before we edit the scene and extend their hand up a little bit here.
End up hanging on to the Devout Decree.
Yeah, like wonder, like they're holding on to the voucher here. It's like what's the payoff that they're waiting for? Like what is the
I mean, maybe they wanted to activate Ardenvale here. I don't know. I guess what going like one more creature wider is going to do here. Conclave Tribunal, that's a good one. I wonder what they will be tribunaling here. See, Daxos is the one big one. Okay. Tapping some things down. Yeah, I was really shocked the Sanctum Seeker didn't get decreed. What's Discord having? Is it breakfast? Is it McDonald's breakfast? If anyone's hanging out in Playground 1, make sure to restart your arena client every so often. Just a friendly reminder. Oh man, I don't know how Jeff's going to pay me my $500 an hour rate when he's considering losing $500 for this edition.
So we're going to do, as you can see, I just added a comment up there. I've added a scene for when we have one player's hand cam that's not going to work. Hopefully we'll have hand cams for most of the matches today, but unfortunately we're working with the technical limitations that Arena provides for this tournament, so we're going to prioritize feature matches in general that have both players' cameras working, but things are outside of our control. Hopefully Wizards of the Coast, if they really want Magic to be an esport, will prioritize getting a spectator mode added. So we'll be playing like we're Machu here in the dark on Magical Cow's side, unfortunately.
Well, this game has been quite interesting back and forth. A lot of life gain, believe it or not.
Yeah, Machu, it kind of just treading water here, really needs to find... Oh, look. Oh, that one's flicking in and out, too. Really, really looking for one of those payoffs here, looking for like a Heliod or an Ajani's Pride Mate or a 4-mana Ajani Planeswalker would be excellent.
Yep.
Giant Killer really going the distance here and keeping their board in check a little bit to keep the health total high still. Feels like Vampires is pretty far ahead at this point. There's, what, 6 cards up there in a Magical Cow's hand?
I was going to say they're up to 7 now, I think. So, yeah, just, hanging out. The match is going to gain a bunch of life, but, I mean, these things are way outsizing what he's got going on down there.
Yep.
Ugh, Sorin's really good, too.
I will take it personally.
Yeah, it feels like the Vampire deck is about to get out of control here. Like, we've got the Castle, but that's only going to do so much with the Vampire player, so ahead on cards.
Yeah, and that thing's basically unassailable at this point for the mono white deck. Yeah, it's gonna use the Giant Killer to tap down that Knight again, but
I like this on Magical Cow's part, taking the little bit of disruption off the table.
yeah.
Yeah, we might.
I think it's totally fine.
We might have like one or two more draw steps here for Machu to like find a planeswalker. Heliod might also pull them out.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow, that's big. So Ranger here like not only gains 6 life, but it also finds some other things. I guess the fact that they're short of 30 life means that that's not quite as good as it could be.
Yeah. It really just needs like Heliod is like the best possible.
Yeah. The Ranger here can get a Serra Ascendant, but that's not really doing anything. Oh, Giant Killers. Okay.
More killers, yeah.
Yeah, double Doomblade is not bad.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay. I like that. I like this much better than just trying to gain some life.
Yeah. You interested in attacking with the Adanto Vanguard? Or no?
Oh, the Leonin Vanguard?
Your Leonin Vanguard, excuse me.
Probably not. It's like every turn it sits there, it gets to sit there and gain life, so I don't know that you're really interested in trading with it.
That's fair. It's just an
because like
enchantment.
keeping your health total as high as possible as Machu has real upside with the probably 4 copies of Serra Ascendant that you're playing.
That's true. Very well.
In fact, I honestly wouldn't be surprised, depending on what we see attacks here, if we see like this Healer Hawk jump block, because again, staying close to 30 gives you just so many additional live draws. I honestly would consider double jumping here, I think, just so you could have those extra live draws. It could go either way though. The Giant Killer gives them some extra longevity.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. Well. I'm just going to go ahead and take, what, 10 here? Might be more.
Yep, down to 10. Okay.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like they either want to take... I definitely don't want to split the difference. I think you're either chump blocking both or you're taking all 10. And I don't mind taking 10 here. The 2 Giant Killers in hand mean that we like have double removal spell next turn, which gives them a little bit of extra control over the board.
Okay.
Ranger's a great follow-up here, too. I think you're just double chop-downing this turn.
Yeah, I'm probably with you. It's funny, we went from Magical Cow having 7 cards in hand to now down to 2 with, with this double chop down, it's basically back to parity.
Yep, yeah, I agree. I think Machu was really far behind for a little bit there, and the Ranger of Eos dragged them kicking and screaming back into this game here.
Yeah.
The second Ranger is huge here as well.
Yeah.
I think I would still chop down this turn, even with the...
Yeah, I think you got to kill the big ones and just, like, hang out for, like... I mean, you're at 18 still. You're not really in any danger of dying.
I'm not sure. What's the reason to do this proactively here, right? I feel like what's the punish if you wait? There could be... Or like an unbreakable formation in the vampire sideboard, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
In the future, we're going to have full deck lists up on the Stream Decker even when we do secondary feature matches. Okay, I kind of like this, because this is the one you can't jump block, right?
Yeah, yeah. Not for an eternity, right? Oh, cast down field chop, okay. Yeah, I was going to say the one reason you do it now is to put some pressure on the Sorin, but... Well...
Discord has magically decided to start working. I've been periodically checking, so we have both players' hand cams up. Look at how easily we can go between like throwing sand at WotC and then just like having functional coverage. It's so great.
They fixed it for us. They fixed it. Let's heard our please. Man, now that was the cast down of this Conclave Tribunal, they're in a lot of trouble at this point.
Yeah, like and again, like I just love how this format's been shaped via these historic anthology editions, because Ranger of Eos, like Maelstrom Pulse, is another one of those cards that was like printed directly into this format, and we see it lending really interesting not only gameplay but deck building decisions here with like fetching up drop downs.
Yeah. And the fact that this what's the name of the stupid enchantment, the one Legion's Landing hasn't flipped too, is like another like Cal needed like a mana sink. And just has never been able to flip this Legion's Landing for whatever reason.
So this Ranger, gosh, do you get third Soul Warden plus a Serra Ascendant, because with the third Soul Warden, you can probably work your way up to it. You could also get another chop down here if you have one, perhaps. Well, I think they're out of those.
Yeah, I'd probably get 2 Serra Ascendants to like get more threat. I don't know.
I don't know. You need to get to 30 before the Ascendant does anything. So, like, I'm kind of inclined. I feel like I would get Ascendant plus Soul Warden here, and then I'd go Soul Warden into double Giant Killer. Excuse me.
You could also get Hawk and like start to try and attack the Sorin and keep it a little bit in check. I don't know.
That's true. That's true. Sorin, while it doesn't have an ultimate like many Planeswalker, what's this Sorin called?
This one is oh god, Grim
Imperious Bloodlord. There we go.
Imperious
Got it. Pull it up on the preview here for folks. Does no traditional ultimate from this, but still something you kind of have to worry about. And go in with the double Healer's Hawk here. Okay.
Yep.
Again, prioritizing being able to attack that Sorin down. Yes, the next round will only be starting once everyone is available.
All right. Well, the board just got completely flooded. So we know there's just a Conclave Tribunal with the few seconds that
we were able to have a second camera there. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, there's only 2 now, and there's a humongous board that you got to deal with.
I bestow a mighty curse.
Interesting to see some diversification on the Sorin tokens here. I kind of like that. Wow. With the giant killers coming, you want multiple individual powerful threats.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, one of the real upsides here to Machu's line was because they didn't get the Ascendant, they get to be super liberal with how much damage they take, right? Like, they don't need to be conservative with their life total at all. So I really like the fact they picked these Hawks up.
Man, if you have to Tribunal a giant killer, that feels so bad. Like, that might have to happen.
And one of the really big things about Machu's archetype here is this entire game has gone without any of their payoff cards, and they're still playing a game of Magic, right? Like, they're still in the game.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious. Like, yeah, you could argue that Ranger's kind of a payoff, but it's just more the engine pieces. I mean,
yeah, and that's really the flexibility with Ranger, right? Like, sometimes it's utility in finding removal spells, sometimes it's an enabler in finding Soul Warden, sometimes it's a payoff to find Ascendant. Just the huge flexibility that it offers in the archetype.
Yeah, now gonna gain a couple more life and have this Castle Ardenvale ready to chump block for like the rest of the game, basically.
And a Magical Cow, I feel like doing a really good job identifying that a payoff hasn't happened yet, because they've been incredibly patient with this Conclave Tribunal, right?
Yeah, they've had at least 3 or 4 turns at this point. And I mean, they held that cast down for a little while too. So
yeah, I think they've done a good job of identifying like what really matters, like that Machu is still missing a piece of their deck here, and that they need to hold this in case they find that piece.
Yeah, Machu's thinned through quite a bit here. I mean, they have 8 lands. They have probably a dozen things in the graveyard at this point. Just looking for, again, like you mentioned, a payoff, and they're probably pretty close to one at this point. These Healer's Hawks. Sorin a little bit is going to be nice. Okay, you're going to go straight for the melon. All right.
Really pivoting. Okay, I mean, I guess they're not really killing the Sorin anytime soon, so they might as well like try and get the game over.
Yeah,
like the Sorin's
anything.
Correct. Yeah, the Sorin is literally just ticking up at this point. The minus is irrelevant with the number of lands in play. Enough mana here on Machu's side now that they can start tapping creatures and activating Castle each turn.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I mean, this is rough to get through for the, basically everything on the ground. They have a couple of things that can fly, but this is rough. Yeah,
and you talk about role assessment in matchups like this, and I definitely think what we're seeing here is Machu's deck is definitely the control deck between this and this aggro mirror, right? Like, their deck, as the game goes long, their engine goes a little bit bigger, so they're just trying to stall the game until they can get their engine online to win.
Yeah.
And honestly, as a player, I think these types of aggro decks are the ones that I find most satisfying to play, because they're decks that can run people down, but also have some staying power as you get into this mid to late game type setup.
Well, the Legion's Landing is now flipped, so it's a little bit more annoying, but
Well, it's worth noting too, though, that these Soul Wardens, they're not templated like Daxos, right? Like Soul Warden is one of those older symmetrical cards, so that Legion, the Adanto, the Legion's Landing flipping is gonna give Machu more health.
Yeah, he actually gets to make some good trades here too. Gets to get rid of the Vampire Lord, it looks like here.
Yeah. Clearing the Lord makes the flip landing even worse as well.
Wow. Yeah. Huh. I mean, yeah, Machu's basically infinite at this, I mean. Conclave Tribunal.
We see the tank here on whether or not we're supposed to keep holding this Conclave Tribunal. I feel like you've held it this long and you got to keep doing it, but I almost feel like this game is slipping away from Cow even without a payoff on Machu's side.
I'm with you here, and like, he has the ability, again, you mentioned, to tap down this knight and just kind of swing out if he wants. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty tough to get back in the game. It's gonna go up to 27. It taps down the.
All right. We can see here, and like, because a magical cow decided to get aggressive, we have kind of free reign here. The Soul Warden attack could be a little bit loose because there is that Legion landing flipped.
Yeah, I wonder if they missed that. Maybe I don't think they would have missed it, but yeah, I don't think I'm letting my Soul Wardens get into combat in any way, shape, or form at this point.
Yeah, Drew, I knew I was muted when I was talking there. I wanted to dunk on chat to Matt in private.
That's what we did. Yeah, it's really weird because Machu decided like stared at the Sorin for a second, and I was like, you know what? I've been attacking the face for a while now. Probably should just continue to stay the course.
Yeah, this is interesting. I feel like if we're not taking the Sorin off the table, attacking these Soul Wardens in is a little aggressive.
Yeah.
We can see them tap the token here, but like this means that Machu's going to take an incredible amount of damage on this backswing, right? Like, there's so many lands over there. Machu's basically committed their second Vanguard to chump blocking at this point, because otherwise the Knight of the Ebon Legion is going to hit like a truck.
Man. Magical Cow just kind of flooding.
Yeah, I feel like if I was on Machu's side, I would just be, like, staying the course until I found a payoff, like a Heliod.
Yeah, I think you have to at this point. The Giant Killers are quite annoying to deal with, but you've held this Conclave Tribunal at least half dozen turns now. You got to just wait for a payoff. Oh, that being said, like, if Machu ever does find a Heliod, it might just, like, kill you on the spot, basically.
Yeah, that's one of the other reasons, I guess, to get your health total high is there's certainly 4-mana Ajanis in their deck, so if Machu can get in range of getting to 35 life, the Ajani 0 just, like, clears Cow's board.
Yeah, it's done for, yeah.
We can see here this has been a long game too. Got a round timer up on Machu's side. 10 minutes left there.
Okay.
There will not be draws in the tournament today.
Just gonna take 6. I mean, you're at 33. Like,
Silly World. Thanks for the 2 months. You cannot draw. This tournament is double elimination. There is no top 8 cut. Or just play until there's one person that hasn't lost twice.
Yeah, well, I keep waiting for like a 3-mana card to come off the top for Machu and just not happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's like where's the beef, right? Like where's that chunky cat that's just gonna like come down and take this game over?
Yeah. Drawing these things are still gaining them some life, but
and again, like I feel like this is just like highlights the power of this white devotion deck, where like okay, like we've stayed alive, but we haven't found our key card, and we're like still playing a game and fine. Like Castle and Giant Killer really giving the aggressive deck things to do with the mana as the game goes along is huge.
Yeah, it's been a really weird, like somebody joked around about it in the chat a few minutes ago. It's like it's a control mirror, and like it's basically onboard control. Yep. Is what's going on here.
Yeah, and that's something you see that's very common in these aggressive decks. Like post-board, especially against other aggressive decks, they often pull up and become more interactive. So the post-board games tend to be a lot less about racing than the pre-board games tend to be.
Yeah.
That's a good point from Time Lord in chat. As this game goes long, because Machu has elected to ignore the Sorin plus Legion's Landing technically starts shooting down creatures every turn here.
Yeah, the Soul Wardens are going to be important to get off the table, and
even the Giant Killers, right? Like the Giant Killer is their way to keep the board in check.
Yeah, the Skymarcher Aspirants is pretty tough too, because now they're able to have a flying blocker.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like that window for Machu is closing here based on how many kind of blanks they've drawn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like a death knell to leave like Planeswalkers, even if they don't have a lot of text, to leave them on the battlefield. Like
yep. Even without that ultimate ability that you normally worry about, Imperious Bloodlord here does provide extra card advantage in the long run.
Yeah, it's rough. And I mean, even like Magical Cow's at 25, like that's a lot of life.
I feel like they might want to consider like triple blocking at this point. Like, do you like chump block the 4/4 and like triple block this 2/3 as a possibility? Just gonna take the hit. Okay, that's fine too. I think so long as they stay above 30 is like the magic number. Super. Wait, are they gonna be able to? Is this it? We're gonna get to 0 here.
Yeah.
Because the Leonin Vanguards plus the Healer Hawks.
Yep.
We could see 0. We're gonna go to combat right here. Oh no! Don't dive me down, Discord.
What's the suspense?
What's this Johnny called? It's the Johnny Strength of the Pride.
Color? Yeah, Strength of the Pride.
So that 0 there, if your life total is at least 15 more than your starting life total, you get to exile all creatures and artifacts your opponent controls here.
Boy, that is a complete beating. Yeah, Giant Killer doing the heavy lifting again.
And we talked about how, hey bud, you need to
that was a sweet turn.
Yeah,
good rip.
And we see here, we were talking about how, like, we were just waiting for that payoff for Machu.
Yeah.
I think that was, like, the last possible turn that payoff could have happened there.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Like, in under the wire. Locking my door sounds like
yeah. Daxos is going to be pretty good, too, alongside this Castle Ardenvale. Just going to be just basically infinite life now that Daxos is hit with Castle Ardenvale.
I do have pants on. You're wearing some stretchy jeans. They're great.
That's Sorin on 17. I think it's pretty high.
12 it looks like they're on the Sorin, but close. Yeah, this game could realistically come down to clock. In fact, I wouldn't be super surprised if we see Machu maybe board a little bit differently for the third game, because clock could be a consideration.
Yeah, at this point, I would say at this point, with 7 minutes and 30 seconds roughly left, I am certainly sending everything in and just like, all right, like block me. I feel like I'm, yeah.
We have a good thought from chat here. A Magical Cow's been sitting on this last card in hand for so long that maybe we're the reason Machu's ignoring the Sorin is they're putting a Magical Cow on having a second Sorin, which doesn't seem unreasonable.
That's fair.
Oh, that's a... Machu is fortunate that this Black Castle has just come down now.
Yeah. Holy cow. Yeah, those are some... That's a hit.
All right, there's a Kaya. So Kaya, Orzhov, Usurper here. Gonna get to exile things that cost 1 or less. Very good in a matchup like this.
Well,
this has been an excellent game of Magic.
It sure has.
Dematerializing?
Man, they got a lot of stuff like, jeez, and the giant killer's down now.
Yep.
This has been like
interesting to see Sorin put another 1/1 counter on here. I almost feel like I would want to like make a creature and then shoot something here.
I'd say to start launching your Adanto out. Well, Johnny's Primate's really good here. This is going to be 100.
It's going to get very large very quickly. This is what the Conclave Tribunal's been waiting for.
Yep.
It's like this or a Heliod.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been really patient. I mean, the one payoff that they couldn't wait on was the Ajani, which hit, but they've been rewarded with the with holding on to it here.
I feel like Machu played this game, but both players have actually played this game really well.
Yeah, it's been good. Jeez, the thing the turn it comes down is a 9/9.
So 2 flyers swing into Kaya here. That makes a lot of sense. Want to get that one off the board, so it's going to exile something every turn.
Yeah, pretty into it.
It's like, yeah, I don't even think Machu can attack. Like, the clock's going to be a real concern for Machu here. They're down a little over 3 minutes on clock, and that could realistically end this game.
Yeah, they really gotta.
They need to toggle that auto order triggered abilities here and stop clicking OK on those pop-ups.
No kidding. All right, well, Kaya's down, but this is Johnny's Primate's at 13. Yeah, no, Conclave Tribunal's going to hit, but the great board stall of 2020 continues.
For people asking about the round timer on MTG Melee, for today's tournament, unless players showed up especially late, we're going to let the match timers in client decide games as opposed to having to make someone concede.
Yeah.
So sudden death rules are awful, so unless a match starts like 15 to 20 minutes late, we're going to let the round timers take care of things.
I would say there's a Locthwain still ticking. That's pretty good. And they still have Adanto available.
Yeah, and you can see here, like, again, like, the aggressive deck on the Vampire side getting to use, what was that, like 12 lands on their side of the board? They've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 mana, and using all of it is just incredible. Like,
how did this game get to this point? The Vampires deck got Wrathed.
Yeah, there was a plague wind at one point this game, right?
Yeah. I was like, there's no way Machu wins. Okay, now there's no way they lose. Okay, now there's no way they win. I don't learn a roller coaster.
Yeah, the swings have been really big, and honestly, I'd have to go back and look at and think about some of the attacks that Machu made. Nice life total there. But the fact that Sorin was able to stay on the board here was a huge deal. Right? Like, this Sorin helped take over the game. And I'd have to, again, look back, but maybe Machu could have applied a little bit more pressure at certain points to the Sorin.
Yeah, the problem now is, like, with this Castle Locthwain running and just dealing a point every turn, like, I think the game's done here.
I mean, so Machu's at such a high life total that if Cow can't take these Soul Wardens off the table, if Machu finds a payoff like a Heliod or another Ajani, they could swing back into this game still.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
What is one life to save many?
Just gonna start using Sorin to, and the vampires from the Adanto are 3/3s now.
Yep, yeah, the double Lord makes those tokens no slouch here. And without the ability for Machu to really apply pressure, this castle just gets to provide a second card every single turn for Cow.
Yeah, exactly. There's both castles pulling their weight, and the utility lands and things like that are just so good in these decks.
And again here, if you're someone that's playing for arena tips at home, we're talking about Machu's clock being a thing. Going into your arena setting and turning off that manual order triggering ability is one of the many ways you can save time in a match like this when it starts getting close on clock. So I feel like that's one of those like non-actual gameplay things that's part of tournament magic that you need to be conscious of.
I'll land off the top there.
Yep, and we see the Sorin just every turn. We're paying 4 mana to make a token, and we're turning that token into a Doomblade and slowly taking this game
totally
back over.
fine.
Yep.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Gonna start hammering out the Soul Wardens. And, yeah, I don't think Machu's gonna be able to like.
Deck sizes and graveyard counts are unfortunately things we don't have access to on this current overlay.
Yeah. Yeah, so this knight just eats a 1/1 every turn.
And eventually, okay, this is, you know, is this enough is the question. We might be too little too late on this Heliod.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be good enough. The problem too is like Magical Cow can use the Sorin on board, play a second one, and just start peeling the board down enough where, you know, just doesn't matter.
I think you need to start stacking the Soul Wardens up, right? Can they gain enough life to get Soul Warden out of Sorin range? I think they can, right? Because they can. Interesting. Okay, so we're stacking tokens on there. Yeah. I feel like I would want to get Soul Warden to a 4/4 if I was Machu here.
Yeah, at a minimum.
And also remember, again, because time's a constraint here, Machu is trying to make decisions a little bit quicker, which makes it harder to make good ones.
All right, well. Daxos is fairly huge. I don't mind diversifying the threats a little bit, but I think, yeah, Soul Warden's one you have to kill, so I guess I don't mind putting it on the tokens. Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna get to watch this game to a conclusion, but I'd be surprised if we have a full game 3 here. Magical Cow is up a game, and
we are getting the full paper magic simulation, though.
We are, except for the fact that these players won't be unintentionally drawing, right?
There won't be some weird conversation at the end, like, "Well, I'm head on board."
Well, you know, should you do the right thing here? Now let's just have chess clocks count it down. It's perfect.
I can look at the top of my deck. Whoa! All right. Leech's Landing is a pretty good rip there, too. I mean, I'd be shocked at this point if Cow doesn't just continue to, like, deploy lands and activate the Castle Locthwain over and over. And picking up Daxos is good. Right.
Taking the Daxos out here also turns the Heliod off, because notably this Heliod needs five devotion here.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why it was a big one. And again, the Sorin is just going to start killing things again, just shotgunning the board down over and over and over again.
Yep. The fact that both players have this ability to generate a creature every turn is just really a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, they can... I was going to say, they just play another Sorin, just can kill another creature if they like. I don't hate.
Yeah, I like this shotgunning down one player's devotion, just like doing their best to make sure this Heliod is not turning on at any point.
Yeah, nice Heliod. And honestly, this knight can probably come attacking in the Knight of the Ebon Legion.
Yep. It's going to be a slow march to the finish line, but we're going to march.
Yeah. All right.
Casual up to 90. Trigger my Heliod.
Up to 90. Put another counter on something.
And this game, honestly, it feels like it's going to be a really good example. One of the things you always teach newer Magic players are trying to hammer home is that, like, the life totals are not a scoreboard, right? So, like, even though Machu's at 90 here, I actually think a Magical Cow is a favorite to win this game.
Is this real here? Are we going to get... Oh, man. That's hilarious. That's so funny. Like, I don't even know where this one would go if it played to a natural conclusion, to be completely honest with you.
I think we might see a Magical Cow win this game with 2 minutes on Machu clock. We might.
Oh, man.
Yep.
All right.
Casual draw 4s, no big deal. Aggro decks that draw cards are so good.
That's fine. Never mind. Oh, that's funny.
Goodbye, friends.
Yep. All right, now we're cooking with grease.
Don't do that in response. Don't do it. No. Oh. I don't think it really matters, but like this friend is gone too, right?
Yeah.
I think the Champion of Dusk is going to put this solidly out of range here.
Yeah, I mean, with a minute 43 left, and the board going on, it's not looking good. So,
and we see Machu packing in there, really well played on both sides. I think I actually think Machu was pretty incredibly unfortunate in that game from we played. It took them so long to find a payoff.
Like what turn were we on where they finally found a Johnny?
Yeah, but like they found a Johnny and they cleared the board, but like the Johnny took so long to show up that it just like wasn't enough at that point. And like by the time the Heliod showed up too, like again, like the Sorin had just like shotgunned down so many things that just wasn't enough to pull him back in.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough sledding. A lot of hate cards. You mentioned the Sorins. There was the Kaya. I mean, there was tons of stuff. It was tough to beat. So good match though.
All right, sweet. Stay tuned, everyone. We're going to hang out in chat here and talk with folks. Round 2 should be starting momentarily since that was a long match. If you're just joining us, my name's Jeff Hogan. I'm joined here by Matthew Bemonte. We are going to be covering the first ever Hoaglandia Historic Open here all day long. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to hit a quick ad roll. For non-subs, you're about to see an ad. You're not going to miss any content. I've got an ad quota to meet, so we're going to take a quick 3-minute break. Subs, feel free to chat. We're still going to be here. Thanks, JD Square. I appreciate the biddies.